So Ethereum currently has bullish and bearish signals, both in the technicals and in the fundamentals. And today we're going to be going through all of those signals to see whether or not Ethereum is bullish or bearish. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're pretty much going to be doing a technical analysis and price prediction. So let's go over that now. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. But let's talk about this because we're going to purely do this throughout the last 7 days. We're just going to look at the technicals throughout the last 7 days. And then we're also going to go ahead and check out the technicals for the 4-hour chart as well. So right now we're going to look at the 15M chart, then we're going to go to the 4-hour chart. That's what we're going to look at. So this one is the 15-minute chart. Look at how perfectly we've been following this area here. This is pretty nice because as you can see, we're really bouncing off the support here. If we are going to become bullish, we're going to have to work to get back out of this area. But look at this right here. This is kind of funny because we're kind of consolidating around this area and we quickly fell below that. We quickly dropped below it. So if we cannot get back into this range here, then we are definitely bearish. And that is from 1851 down to 1838. Right now, we're at 1834. So we need to get back into this range and then continue to rise up from there. But look at all of the bearish signals that were being thrown up here inside of Ethereum. Just time after time after time. Again, we were getting so many sell signals. And yeah, we're just super bearish inside of Ethereum. Now, I like to look at the triangles. That's why I have the triangles and the wedges right here. I like to look at these ones because they're very telling. And I also like to create them myself. As you can see here, created this. But with these indicators, you can also see it creates it for you, creates a perfect wedge for you. And if you're wondering what indicators I'm using Chart Prime, link in the description. But anyways, we are at this perfect wedge right now, and we're right at the bottom. So what we're trying to figure out now is, are we about to get a large purchase wave inside Ethereum, bringing us back up here, or are we going to get a large selling wave? Now, if you look at the oscillator, the prime oscillator here on the bottom, you can actually see that a green wave is actually about to start forming up. And what that means is there's more buying volume that's about to start coming in. And it's funny because we actually just now got down here to this momentum wave. We can see the green wave because that means there's buying. This is pretty much support. So we're really bouncing off of the support down here, and we're staying inside of this channel, which is actually a bullish signal. So it's something that you want to pay attention to. And the fact that we're still inside this channel, it's very, very, very bullish. This is the momentum wave band here with the Market Oracle Pro Chart Prime here. So yeah, you can really see it. And we're actually about to become a little bit more bullish and start going into this wave now. So hopefully it actually has a big pump. You can actually see we're at the beginning of that. So we're actually going to start rising from here. Right now we're at 1834. We actually might see Ethereum getting all the way up back to 1850 and possibly even higher than that, getting back up here to the 1900 range, touching the top of this wedge. And that's really what it's working towards. So that's what we need to be watching for. We are down 2.8% in the last 24 hours. If you look over here at the 14-day chart, that's the positive chart, which is 10.8% up in the last 14 days. But in the last 7 days, we are down 3%. And that's kind of congruent to what our technicals are showing us, because in the last 7 days from the start of this wedge down here, you can see we've just been going on a straight downtrend. But now we're nearing the end of this wave, and we finally have hit the bottom support line of this wave, which means we're probably about to start getting more buying coming in for Ethereum very, very soon. So I'm predicting that Ethereum actually has a slight increase in the short term. Now, I don't know what's going to be happening within like the next 2, 3, 4, or 5, 6 weeks, but it's within like the next week or two, we should see Ethereum rising in price. Now, after like the next month, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe the whole crypto market becomes bullish. That's what we're about to look at now. So we're going to look at the 4-hour chart to find out in the next month. And just to kind of consolidate what I just now said, pretty much in the last 7 days, we've been going down to the point where we finally hit the support. Now we're starting to build that momentum back up. You can see through this momentum wave band down here that we're now entering the green area, which means it's bullish, which means there's purchasing going on. And even on the oscillator, it's showing that there's more buying volume coming in, meaning that we're going to continue to rise up here, probably to the top of this band, or all the way up here to the consolidation resistance line that we had all the way up there. So that's really what we're looking at for this. Now, moving on to the 4-hour chart for Ethereum, which essentially is our longer term chart here. It's going to look a lot different now that we're not really looking at it inside of a short-term perspective. So we had a little bit of a bearish consolidation wedge, and we're like literally nearing the end of it. And something that also confirms that theory that we're about to have another bullish rise inside of Ethereum right now temporarily is just looking at the 4-hour chart. You can see after we came out here on this triangle wedge here, we were literally breaking out just effortlessly. And then we went into this range where we just started to break down effortlessly. Now we're hitting that same support. Now we're probably going to end up having a more larger breakout. Look, the same support, or I mean, the same resistance that we hit here at 1789, somewhere around that. Let's just say 1790. This area here, when we start to break out, that's going to be probably the same area that we pull back to, that we stop at. And you can actually see that green line forming up here around 1790, because that's indicating that that's probably where our next support is going to be, because our resistance always becomes our support. So that's probably what we're going to be looking at here. If we break out of this consolidation wedge on a downtrend, that's probably where it'll stop, or it might go all the way down here to this top of this momentum wave band, going all the way up to 1730. So if it does go all the way up to 1730, then we're probably going to be bullish from there, because if you look over here, the momentum wave band is showing the green area, meaning that's where purchasing is more likely to come into play. And if you look back here, back towards the 16th of June, you can see that that's also where we had purchasing at that same area. So if we go all the way down here to this wave band here, then we're going to have purchasing all throughout this area. So that's very, very bullish for us. Hopefully that can happen. But yeah, that's what we're going to be watching out for here with Ethereum. And even for the 4-hour charts oscillator, you can still see, even though we're having a lot of bearish sell-offs here, it looks like it's probably about to start coming to an end. It's been flat for too long. A bullish signal is probably about to come soon, and we're probably about to have that increase in price. Now, looking at the 4-hour chart, seeing how high it could get for the long term, I think Ethereum is actually heading up here towards $2,000. I almost said 2,800. Like $2,000 is probably where we're heading all the way up here to. So 2078, that's the top of this band here. 2075, 2078, somewhere around there, but that's the top of the momentum wave band. So that's probably where we start to lose momentum if we start to become bullish and rising up very high inside of Ethereum. And we were already up there previously, so don't think that it's impossible for us to get back up there. Like 2130 all the way back here in April, it's possible. And we're actually about to near closer and closer to the April highs. So that's probably what we're about to see. We're about to see the same highs that we've seen in April. So that's what I'm waiting for here with Ethereum. And my prediction is, yes, we are going to become bullish, but we're going to go read other people's perspectives here, because it's good to take perspectives from different areas in the crypto market and see what everyone else is thinking. And yeah, maybe you might learn something doing that. But first of all, Ethereum's top 10 whales have been continuing to buy as holdings set new all-time highs. So Ethereum holdings are setting new all-time highs. More and more people are getting Ethereum. I've actually started to build up a little bit more Ethereum myself, and I think people are probably starting to ramp up with it. And the fact that the top 10 whales are also continuing to gain more and more Ethereum, that's a pretty good sign that we're inside of good standings with Ethereum. We might actually have some bullish movements for this crypto. I don't know. But anyways, let's read it. Ethereum's top 10 self-custodial wallets have grown their supply recently. According to the data from the on-chain analytics from Sentiment, the top non-exchange ETH addresses have continued to add more coins to their holdings recently. So they're not talking about the top exchange ones. They're talking about the top non-exchange ones. So when you think about Binance and all this, they're not looking at that. They're not looking at Binance. They're not looking at wrapped ETH. They're not looking at anything but the top actual whales. So the indicator of interest here is the supply held by top non-exchange addresses, which measures the total amount of Ethereum that the 10 largest addresses outside of centralized exchange platforms are carrying in their combined balance. So they're buying more and more Ethereum. Now they say naturally the only entities who would be able to own these humongous self-custodial wallet addresses would be whales, which are our billionaires and our millionaires. And since the wallets of focus here are specifically the top 10 ones, the holders of these wouldn't be just any ordinary whales, but the largest even among them. So these investors would be the most influential entities on the network. And we already know what whales can do. They can literally manipulate whole markets. So if they start buying, it's kind of telling you something. But then again, it says due to the sheer volume of coins that they can move at once, thus their supply can be something to watch for, as any changes in it may be relevant to the market. So the more they buy, well, the higher Ethereum's probably about to go. So that's probably the direction that we're going to now. And it says, as displayed in the above graph, the Ethereum supply held by the top 10 non-exchange addresses has been following an overall uptrend for a few years now. So for a few years, they've been accumulating more and more Ethereum. And it's kind of funny because within like the last few years, well, last 2 years really, we've been going down inside price for the overall crypto market. So when you look at that, it's kind of weird, but it kind of shows you they're probably waiting because they know that we're about to have a bullish move inside the market. They know that the bull market is coming in. So they're probably like, all right, we're going to start accumulating more Ethereum. And that's kind of what it is looking like they're doing. But I'll keep you all updated on it and see what happens. It says the indicator mostly moved sideways during the rest of the bear market, but since the rally has begun this year, these large self-custodial wallets have gone back to accumulation. So now they're accumulating now that we kind of went down a little bit more in price. So I'll let you do what you do with that. But moving on to the next thing, this is what Cointelegraph is saying now. And as I said, there's different perspectives. I don't necessarily believe that it's not passing 2K anytime soon. I do believe Ethereum can get up there very soon, actually. So I think it'll be happening. But we'll see. But anyways, they say it won't see 2K anytime soon. Market data suggests. So they're saying that's what the market data is saying. So they're pretty much looking at it from not really a technical point of view, but they're really looking at it from a fundamental point of view, which I understand. But they're saying over here, worsening macroeconomic conditions, the regulatory cryptocurrency environment, and weaker demand for decentralized applications on the Ethereum network. I don't believe there's a weaker demand for DeFi apps on Ethereum's network. And actually, if you look at DeFi Llama, money has flowed out of DeFi a little bit, but it's been speeding back up. And you can actually see it by just looking at this chart. Like, it's starting to speed back up. So yes, it did pull back for a little bit, but now it's kind of speeding back up. And November 2022, $40.93 billion. And now today, where it's June 28th, $43.84 billion. So a difference of $3 billion. So yeah, it's speeding back up. It was all the way at the 54 billion mark, but now it went down, but now it's speeding back up, which means that interest isn't necessarily being completely lost. It's just that the crypto market started to drop, so people started to sell out. But now those same people are probably going to start getting back in, just like we see the whales buying more and more. Now, there was a lot more money in DeFi back in 2022, but remember, we were having like humongous pumps back then, 172 billion. Like, that's pretty crazy to see all that money inside of DeFi. But I think right now, 43 billion in DeFi is probably a good time to get in now. You don't really want to get in when it's like at the peak. You want to get in when it's down, like how it is now. But anyways, yeah, they're looking at macroeconomics. Over here, they said on the June 26th, a federal judge denied a motion from Binance that could have stopped the United States Securities Exchange Commission from issuing public statements related to the case. In addition, in its mid-year outlook, a HSBC Asset Management report warned of an economic downturn in the U.S. So blah, 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 blah. They're talking about the recession. They're pretty much talking about how it could go down. Like, everything could go down in all markets. And then they're over here talking about Ethereum network demand, gas fees drop. So I don't think that the gas fees are going to go too low, but I have experienced $5 gas fees recently with Ethereum, which is unheard of. So that's without using a layer 2 as well. So it's saying usage of dApps on the Ethereum network failed to gain momentum as gas fees dropped 60%. Notably, the 7-day average transaction cost dropped to $3.70 on June 26, down from $9 4 weeks prior. DApp active addresses also declined by 27% in the same period. A large chunk of the decline was concentrated on Uniswap and MetaMask Swap, while most NFT marketplaces saw a surge in their unique active wallets. So despite Uniswap's NFT aggregators' lackluster performance, the sector faced a decent influx of users on OpenSea. Blur Manifold looks rare and unique. So it's pretty interesting. I think it's just dropping because people are using it slightly less because economic, hardships. And like they're saying with the macroeconomics, the recession is pretty much here. People like to say, oh, the recession's coming, but it's been here. It's been here for a while. So it's not that. But anyways, let's keep going over this. It says the indicator declined by 6.9% between April 28th and June 28th to 13.9 million ETH according to DeFi Llama. And that's what we're just now looking at. So ETH price rally not supported by derivative markets. They're also saying that's also a causing factor. And they're saying resistance below $2,000 remains formidable. So they're saying resistance at 1920, which is actually what we were just now talking about. So yes, we do have a resistance at 1920, but that's not the only resistance. Like if we can actually pass that, then we're looking bullish here with Ethereum. So that's actually the area that we have marked up here for that resistance. And we've hit it a few times. We've hit it a few times recently, but we have gotten rejected. So now we just got to wait to see if we can pass it again. Now, if we do not pass it again, look, we're probably about to start rising back up here again and going up to this resistance. If we cannot pass it this time, then I do agree that we probably will go back down and then break down below the support and break out of this wedge, go down towards the 1700s. So, or 1800, 1700, somewhere around there. That could happen if we don't pass 1900 this next time. So watch out for that. Let's see if we can actually pass it. But if we don't, then yeah, we probably will go below 18 and possibly even down to 1700. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. And this was a fun fact here. So Compound founder forms Superstate to create bond fund with Ethereum for record keeping. So this is just another good use case for Ethereum. And I think we should be having some bullish movements coming very soon in the market. But anyways, this is all I got for you all today. If you like these indicators, check out the Chart Prime link in the description. You can go ahead and sign up there and get these indicators. And also remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this financial advice. Leave a like button or leave a like, hit the comments. And as always, I'll be back with another video.